podcasts.
I know, it's crazy. It's almost like we're not just work colleagues.
Yeah. It does feel like sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And you two mates. Yeah, but you only hang out during the podcasts.
And your point is?
What you got against the podcast, man?
What's your point, my friend? What's your point exactly?
It's like, my God, we used to go to the pub. That sounds crazy. It's awesome.
There we go.
We have sound. Oh my God.
We have sound. We are running. We are up and running. Good evening, everybody. I'm TheSuffolkRam.
Skazz.
Welcome to episode 82 of the Rounders podcast live stream.
We've almost made it to 100. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself.
North Korean coming round.
Oh God.
North Korea. Da 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 da.
Where exactly do I have to book this on? When do I have to put this on the calendar?
I don't know. Is it on can you do it on Expedia or something?
I don't know, but I'm just like wondering, like, when is episode 100, so I know when I've got to go, when I have to say goodbye to my family.
Well, it's episode 82, so my maths is a bit rusty, but I think between 82 and 100 is 18. And we do 2 podcasts, follows a fortnight, which means it's going to be 36 weeks away. And 4, that means that's 12 goes, no, that can't be right. Yeah, it's 36 weeks away. There's 4 weeks in a month, that's 12 months away. No.
Just pretend it is. We'll fudge the numbers later so we don't have to wait.
9 months away.
We still have time. We still have time to find out and survive. Hi Divine, how you doing?
So yeah, I've got 9 months until we go to North Korea.
Marvellous.
And get eaten by the Yorkshire Terriers. Well, it's fine. It's what the public want.
Yeah.
It's what the people are paying us, well. What people tune in to see. Live. Imagine that. Live! This evening, around there's 2 people visit North Korea and get eaten by Yorkshire Terriers.
What would be even more surprised is a live stream from North Korea.
Yeah.
We're in South Korea.
Have you heard the North Korean satellite? Where they turn on the satellite and the music they played? Remind me to show it after podcast. Okay. But literally, they launch a satellite and it plays patriotic songs. But it does it sort of like in bit 2.
Right.
Pling plong, pling plong, pling plong, pling, pling pling plong, pling plong, pling plong. Link in the show notes.
Link in the description.
You can have it as your mobile phone ringtone. Actually, I need to put my phone on airplane mode. Oh, yeah. So airplane mode.
How professional.
Yeah, very professional. Well, I'm professional. Anyway, so
I know why we don't get paid, eh?
Yeah. Anyway, so what have we been up to? So, have you been playing games this month? Well, you've seen trying to play a game.
Well, yeah. No, we're going to skip the one that I've been trying to play.
Right.
I have actually been playing a game.
Ooh.
Was it not yesterday, but Friday before was the launch of Monster Hunter World?
Oh yes, you were talking about this the other week.
And for a time, after playing the beta, I did say, nope, I'm not going to get Monster Hunter World. It feels so far detached from the Monster Hunter that I know and love. I'm not going to get it. Well, I got it.
And?
It's still as disconnected from the Monster Hunter that I love as it was back in the beta. It's ridiculously easy. The story is almost painful. But
is there much story to Monster Hunter?
Well, no. But what Capcom have tried to do this time is they've tried to make it more cinematic. So rather than it just being an in-game scene of a guy going, "Yeah, by the way, our village is in trouble. Can you try and help us figure it out?" Now it's like a rendered cutscene of all these people around a table and talking, and it's like, I don't want this.
Our village is in trouble. Can you please help?
Yes, thanks, Capcom. Right. So basically. Can I just go over my gripes? Right, Monster Hunter is a series that's been going on since about 2004.
Yeah.
And the aim of the game is that
really? I didn't realise it's that young.
2004.
Oh, blimey.
That came out back when we were in college.
I'm amazed. For some reason I thought it was like a game that started in the 90s. Like
no.
Most Nintendo games seem to have started.
No, because it's not a Nintendo title. It's a Capcom title that started on PlayStation 2, moved over to PlayStation Portable. Had a remaster of a PlayStation Portable game on PlayStation 3, went to Nintendo Wii, Wii U, 3DS, an upscale port on Switch that we didn't get over here, and now it's on PS4. It's actually funny you say that you thought that it was older. A lot of people have never heard of Monster Hunter, considering it's been out for as long as it has. Most people, and on mainstream consoles, most people haven't heard of it. It really surprised me how many people hadn't heard of it until Monster Hunter World came out. But the idea is that you are basically cavemen of a sort. You're not quite advanced, but then you're not quite, you know, scratching at the walls in your cave. The idea is that you go out and you hunt dinosaurs or big ass monsters. So they're not like, you know, your traditional T-Rexes and stuff like that. Some of them are based on things like raptors, T-Rexes and whatever, but then you have other things that are more like, you know, ancient dragons and bats and things like that. They're just really big with special moves or whatever. But the idea is that you are supposed to learn patterns, and that the game would dump you into an area and then it wouldn't give you any real information on the monster. You would have to go and figure that out. So you'd have to find out where it would nest, find out where it would eat, track it down, keep tabs on it, follow it, kill it.
It's like a whole game of boss battles.
Yeah, basically. And you know, so let's put it this way. Like, let's say you're in the middle of a fight and the monster flies off, but you weren't paying attention where it went. You then have to start the hunt all over again to try and figure out where the fuck it's gone, which is why it's handy to know where it nests, where it eats, and things like that. They took that away in Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World, you now have a bug system. I can't even remember what they're called, but basically they're like tracker bugs. And the more, so there's footprints or mucus or damage to the world map, and every time you inspect an element, it will update the information on this monster, and then when you get a certain amount, the bugs will go, yeah, there's the monster, and it will just go and find it for you. And it will keep track of it for you with a big glowy green trail that you can use to whatever. Harvesting in Monster Hunter back in the day used to be almost a nightmare, because if you were in the middle of a fight, you would literally get down on your hands and knees and you'd be like crawling around trying to find, like, get the herbs. Like, your character would literally go into an animation. So ideally you wouldn't try and get items when you're in the middle of a fight.
To be fair, I think it's general good practice for any person in the middle of a fight. But fighting is not a good time to be looking for items. For any game, really. Unless you're playing Skyrim or any other Scrolls game, in which case it's fine.
Yeah, in which case just do whatever you want, because it'll probably crash in a minute.
Apart from fast travel or sleep.
Well, because they're the only two times in the game when you can't get away with it, because you can't do it. But, so, you know, you wouldn't pick up items. Even healing was risky, because your character would stop, dead on the spot, chug the potion or eat whatever it was that he was doing, so have like a mini animation. And if you were in the same zone as a monster that was aggroed, it would come and attack you. And it would do massive damage to you because you were just standing there healing. Risk-reward kind of thing. You'd have to try and figure out a pattern, figure out when there was an opening, go and heal. Not anymore.
No.
No. You've, oh, well, I need to drink a potion. Oh, the monster's coming right for me. Starts walking or running along as he's chugging his potion. Now, sure, you don't run full speed, but now you could be in the middle of combat chugging potions, just running in a circle. So, you know, they've made that easier.
Are difficulty levels? Is that just the fact that they've made it easy across the board? Is it that you're sort of playing on a lower difficulty? Or
no, I've got up to high rank and I'm kicking the ever-loving shit out of everything.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, I've never found Monster Hunters to be particularly hard, but the fact that they've taken away some of the bits that made it hard, you know, like you had to... so gathering items, that's what I was trying to get at. Was that, so before you'd stop and you'd have an animation, same with healing, so there was a risk. You couldn't do it when the monster was nearby. Now, for healing, you can walk. You can still walk around whilst you're chugging on your potion, so you can still dodge enemy attacks. For gathering items, you're running along full speed and it's like, oh look, there's some honey. You press the circle button as you come up close to the thing. Your character has a slight stagger in his speed. So like, boop, I've just stumbled a little bit, grabs the thing that he needs and then keeps running full pelt. There is no slowdown. Herbs, you know, the only ones I think that have actual slowdown are bone piles and mining. But you can gather herbs, you can gather honey, you can pick mushrooms, all this stuff, you can just do it at full fucking speed. So, when you're in a fight in the old Monster Hunters, if you ran out of potions, and if you had the ingredients to make potions, you could combo them and make a potion. Blue mushrooms and herbs. And so you'd end up with like this, you'd end up having this kind of mad skill if you were in the middle of a fight, if you still wanted to do it whilst you're in the middle of a hunt. You would, you'd be jogging around the analog stick, or the camera, whichever version you played, to turn the camera so you can still see the monster, whilst using the thumb to go onto through the main menu to go to the combo list, and still have another finger or whatever on the other analog stick to keep you moving. And you'd be able to navigate and combo items whilst you were moving about. You still had to know where the monster was. It took a bit of practice. You know, if you did it wrong or picked the wrong time to do it, you got wrecked. Took that out as well. So now, get this. 1. A potion is not herb and blue mushroom anymore. It's herb. Just herb. Nothing else. Nothing combo together to make it special. Just herb. So, why herbs don't heal as much, or they never used to, they don't heal as much as potions, never know. But now, the game will automatically combine key items for you.
Oh.
So, okay, there's a herb and I'm in desperate need of a fucking potion, I'm about to get wrecked, I can see it, it's right there, you run up to it, your little bug thing makes the bush glow, you press the circle button, it automatically makes a potion, you hit the square button, you chug your potion and walk away. No risk, no danger. You know, oh look, I've got a potion in my inventory because I've just ran past a herb bush, and there's some honey. Bam! Grab the honey, super potion. You didn't have to slow down, you didn't have to stop, you didn't have to, you know... It was like they knew that people... It was a clunky mechanic, I get it, same with the, you know, the animations for gathering, the animations for drinking your potions, and it annoyed some people. What they've gone and done is, Monster Hunter World is a kind of a reboot. They've made it really noob friendly. But in making it really noob friendly, they've taken away a lot of the things that I used to love about it.
Yeah.
Like the challenge of it. I liked that I couldn't just stand there in the middle of a fight and chug potions. I used to like that I couldn't just stand there and gather items.
It made it sort of tactical in a way.
Yeah.
You had to sort of plan ahead, your fights ahead. You could just...
You
could just run and gun.
Yeah, Monster Hunter was a game about preparation. If you left for a mission and you didn't have the right armor, the right weapon, the right items, and you couldn't source them from the map, you were fucked. No two ways about it, you died. In this Monster Hunter, you don't have to do any prep work. They have a canteen to boost stats on base camp. You can now change weapons at base camp. Fucking items pretty much make themselves, so there's no real challenge there. The map and the little tracker flies pretty much show you where absolutely everything is, so there's no exploration at all. None. The game does all that for you. You know, you don't need to know monster patterns, you don't need to know where they eat, where they sleep. You know, you don't need to know the nest, you don't need to know the zones that they won't go into. The game will just tell you. Yeah. It just hands you all that information. There are some things I do like about it though.
Yep.
Once upon a time, Monster Hunter maps were split into little zones, and you would call out. So let's say me and Divine were playing in the chat. I'd say, or me and you were playing, right? Well, I'd say, right, the monster's now in 2, and then you'd look on the map, and you'd then go into the little cluster, the little segment that is zone 2, and there'd be a load screen between each kind of zone, because obviously low-end systems like a PlayStation Vita or whatever, PlayStation Vita was a PSP, so it's even older than that. You know, they'd only load up a small section of the map. Now it's just one huge map. You still have the zones, but
there's no loading between.
No, you just literally you don't see an end to a zone, but it's still marked as a zone on the map, which is nice. And what was the other one? Oh, they've put in damage indicators now as well, which has annoyed the fuck out of me. Now, which you can turn off. You can turn those off. They kind of break my immersion a bit. But in previous Monster Hunters,
when you say damage, do you mean just like hit points coming off you as you get hit type thing?
As you hit the monster, it tells you how much damage you're doing to it. No. It doesn't tell you how much health it has. It just tells you how much damage you've actually done to it. Because so the other trick with Monster Hunter was that the game would never tell you what the monster's weak points were. So, for example, a Baroth, its weak points are its hands. Always have been. Strong point is his head. Right? But now, the game has decided, with these little hit counters, it has to tell you what these things are. Like, you can't figure that out for yourself. People need to be able to see how much damage they're doing for some reason. Even though in the grand scheme it means nothing.
Yeah.
Because you never know how much health a monster actually has anyway. You then have to look for the telltale signs. Is it nearly dead? Well, is it still running at you full speed? Probably not. Is it dribbling? Then it's tired or hungry. You know, is it limping? It's nearly dead. Things like that were kind of the tells, whereas now they've literally said, oh look, you've hit it in the face and you've only done 5 damage, whereas you've just hit it in the legs and done 30. Maybe you should focus on the legs. The game literally just hands everything to you on a plate.
Is there like these monsters, they have like an ecosystem type, or they like sort of, are they just there literally as a boss, or do they actually like wander around?
No, they wander about.
And do they like hunt and sleep and all sorts? Yeah, there's an actual ecosystem.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is, and Monster Hunter has always been like that.
Yeah.
So basically you would be able to tell where a monster is based on the nest that you've just found. You could tell it, well, is this a bird's nest? Well, if it isn't a bird's nest, then it likely isn't a Pookie Pookie, which is a big bird. You know, is the monster a fucking giant dragon? And does it eat a specific kind of animal? Well, chances are then it's going to be in zone 2 when it eats.
Yeah.
And there's, you know, little things like that. You'd learn these things as you watched the monster, as you hunted the monster, but now it doesn't feel like a hunt, it feels like handed to you on a plate.
Yeah.
A lot of the strategy and a lot of the tactics, in my opinion, have been taken out of the game, because I've played the game now for 30 hours in a week. For me, it's a lot.
I'll say that's quite a lot for you.
And I've only died twice. One of them was me being a cocky cock. And the other one was I didn't pay attention to an environmental hit and just got blown up. Otherwise, I have absolutely destroyed everything I've gone up against. Everything. You know, what was the other thing? The taking potions whilst you're moving isn't so bad, because you can still move and eat as like you're going kind of thing, whereas in Monster Hunter the previous ones you can stop, but that does take a lot away from the fight.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, was there anything I liked other than the map being stuck together? Graphically it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful game compared to the previous Monster Hunters. Which I kind of that explains why they also put in the tracker bug system, because the tracker bugs highlight things when you're nearby them, like, oh, there are herbs in this area, and then the herbs will glow green when the bugs go near them. Because if it didn't do that, because the graphics are so nice, you can't really always see the random herb bush or the random patch of mushrooms. Unlike, say, in a PlayStation 2 game where textures were really janky and there wasn't a lot on the map, you're like, oh look, there's a really big pile of mushrooms over there, or hang on, there's a random bush just sticking out of nowhere, there's your herbs.
Yeah, that's the trouble with getting more realistic, more prettier. It's actually starting to get hard and hard to actually find anything.
Yeah, so I understand the tracker bug system in that case, but none of these monsters camouflage well. None of them do, unless like they're trying to hide. At which case, tracker bugs are going to ruin it for you.
Yeah.
But if you're a noob to Monster Hunter, it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I am very surprised that so many people haven't heard of Monster Hunter. Because of how old it is. I mean, there have been limited edition DSs. There have been bundles with consoles over the years. I mean, I think there was a limited edition PSP. There's been a limited edition 3DS. There's a Monster Hunter World has now got a big ass limited edition PS4. But they've changed many little things, and I don't like it. The game itself, once you're wailing on that monster, feels like a Monster Hunter game.
Yeah.
But the little things they've changed that lead up to the fight, I don't like as much. I almost feel betrayed, because it's like, well, we've got rid of that stuff because the community didn't like it. And it's like, well, those were the bits about the game that made me like it, because it felt more tactical and like I was being rewarded for learning this stuff.
Every change they make is going to upset somebody, isn't it?
Yeah, and well,
unfortunately, these changes have upset you this time.
Yeah, but like I say, if you're a beginner to Monster Hunter, beautiful game. It's easy enough to get into. Fuck man, they combo your items for you. You can eat whenever you want, so you can't forget it. The multiplayer SOS system. They've got an SOS system in it now because the game is largely online.
Hence the world part, I suppose.
Well, maybe because all Monster Hunters have been online, but this one literally shoves it in your fucking face right from the moment you turn it on. When you're trying to start a single player mission, it's like, yeah, we're now connecting to a lobby to matchmake you to other players. It's like,
fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much not interested. But one of the things that was neat, so the whole joining of the map together, and then the SOS system, and that when you're on a map, if things get a little hairy, you can fire up an SOS flare, and then people who are checking the quest board outside, like off the map and back in the hub world, can go to SOS, and it will say, such and such a character is on this mission, you know, they've got this weapon, this is the mission they're doing, this is their hunter rank, do you want to help them? And then you say yes, and then you can go in and help. You can just join their mission and help them hunt the monster. But
it's not guaranteed you will get help, presumably.
No, unless people look at the board and find your quest and decide they want to do it, then people might not come in at all.
Yeah.
So that was nice, because then that helps beginners out, although admittedly the game does scale in difficulty the more players you have on your team. So if it's just you and someone else, it's harder than it was in single, but not by a great deal. 3 players is the hardest, and 4 because they take away your support characters at 3 players. So if there's just you and another human, you have 2 supports, and if it's 3 humans, they take away the supports, and then you'll have an empty slot. And 4, well, you've got a full team, so you know it's easier than 3 players, I guess. I've never really found any hunt to be particularly difficult, be it on 1 player or more. But yeah, so you know that's nice. But the multiplayer system in itself is kind of balked if you're going through the story, because if there's a cutscene in that mission, you can't join until that other player sees that cutscene. So let's say I'm in a story mission. This is one thing that everyone has universally complained about, because back in previous Monster Hunters, if a cutscene happened, you all just saw the cutscene.
Yeah, right? That's how it usually happens in most games.
Whereas in this one, well, I guess in this case it's because they don't want anyone to come into a mission that they've not already got to in the story and spoil the story for themselves.
Yeah.
But the idea is that you can't. So I join the mission. I haven't got to the cutscene bit yet. You and the rest of my party are now just chilling out outside because you can't in the hub world, because you can't come in until I see that cutscene. But as soon as I see that cutscene, I'll go, now you can come in, and then you can join and.
So you can't do it as a group. You can't all join and go into the cutscene as a group. It has to be, each person has to.
No.
Right.
The person who initiated the quest has to see the cutscene first, and then everyone can join.
How can I put this nicely?
Retarded. Stupid.
I was going to go fucking stupid, to be honest.
That's fucking dumb.
I mean, who thought that one up?
I mean, like I said, I understand in the case that they don't want new players to spoil the story, but Monster Hunter's story is literally, oh my god, monsters are fucking shit up, sort it out.
Monster Hunters, you need to hunt monsters?
Yeah, pretty much. Now, if you do any other kind of quest that isn't the story quest, that isn't really much of an issue.
No.
But that is one of the more annoying things about multiplayer. Again, if you're new to the series, try it. Looks good, plays well. There are lots of little niggles that I don't like, but I'm sure a lot of they're quality of life things that are going to make it easier for other players, for new players. Yeah. A lot of the older players have said, well, it's different, but they've changed a lot of the things that made Monster Hunter feel grindy or slow or whatever. So, well, I liked that because I liked to know that I was outpacing the monster. But sure, they've changed it. It works well. It's very beginner friendly. My game crashes at least 18,000 times per session. So, you know, take that with a pinch of salt.
I think more than a pinch.
A couple jars full, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's a thing. No one else, only maybe one other person I know has had a crash in game or 2, but I seem to have one every session. Although, as you've noticed with hardware recently, I don't have much joy with things working. Yeah, it's alright. It's not my Monster Hunter though.
So I'm just...
You had a Windows update thing coming up.
Windows update, and I'm thinking to myself, I better just make sure this isn't going to sort of like restart itself.
Partway through the podcast.
Yeah.
Just decided no, it's going to... What's that, like what? 9:15? Wait. That can't be right.
It wants to restart at quarter past 11.
Oh, that's a 3. I couldn't see. I can actually I looked at 1 from here. Because I look literally, that's what, 3 feet from the screen. I can't even see it.
So, there you go. It's going to restart at quarter past 11 on the 5th. So hopefully that's not going to do anything now.
Quarter past 11.
Good.
But yeah. So Monster Hunter World. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a.
That's the review. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. Everyone else was super excited about it. I played it. I have absolutely dominated near enough every monster I've gone up against. I've had a few kind of need a clean pair of shorts moments as one of the new dinosaurs just flies in out of nowhere and I crap my pants because it's about 8 times the size of the thing that I was fighting. But other than that, it's not been a blood pumping shit I'm gonna die Monster Hunter like most of the other ones have been.
Yeah.
The other monsters felt like a threat, these ones just don't. And because they've taken away my need to track the monster and learn about the monster, it's not, it's not a thing.
Cool. Right, so I've been playing a game called Tooth and Tail.
Oh, the one with the little rat
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned.
It reminds me of Redwall.
Yeah, a lot of people said it reminds me of Redwall, but a lot more violent and dark.
Yeah.
I picked it up. Well, I actually mentioned it a few weeks ago. I think on a podcast that I'd heard about on another podcast, and I wanted to pick it up because it's a RTS game, but designed to be played with a controller.
Which in itself sounds. Yeah. That's quite a.
So basically the backstory of Tooth and Tail is that it's set in a fantasy world where it's based very heavily on sort of the Russian Revolution.
Right.
So early 19th century, or 1900s Russian Revolution. Long story short, there's been this like underclass in their world of swine, which are the pigs.
Yeah.
So the sort of everybody else in the pigs, they're like the underclass, and they basically farm, eat grain and so forth, and then they get took off to be eaten by everybody else.
Oh, okay. Fair.
So they're sort of like farming themselves.
Bless them.
Yeah,
Poor bastards.
Poor bastards. Yeah, well, that's the thing, because when you talk to them, they don't know what goes on because they've all generations. But there are so much like the breeders who've been around for lots of years and know what happens.
Right.
And they've seen more than they sort of like know what goes on and so forth. So they're a bit wise to it all. They they sort of accept it because they're breeders, they get to stay alive.
Yeah.
Whereas all their offspring just get a bit fat and then go off.
Yeah.
Then the battle of Tooth and Tail is that as they got more civilised and big population growth, the amount of swine wasn't able to sustain the population, and they got to the stage where they felt that eating meat was civilised, but eating grains, in fact, although they're all omnivores, they could eat grains stuff. It was sort of a surplus of that. They could eat that, but no, that was the food of the beasts. They can't touch that. Sure. That's sort of down upon you. That's all you meat. So what happens is there's one group decides how do they solve this problem? They instigate a lottery, and if your number comes on the lottery, you get taken away to be eaten.
Oh bloody hell!
So you start off by playing this guy. I think he's going to be a rat called Bellified. I hope I said that's right. And his son loses the lottery and gets took away and gets eaten.
Motherfuckers.
So he decides to go down the route of rebellion. And he basically starts to. So the fourth faction you've got are, I forgot his name of his faction now. Common folk that are the Longcoats. He's the Longcoats. And that's who you start with. So you basically work your way through all the factions when you play the single player. So you start with him and the Longcoats. And he wants to overthrow. So at the top you've got the civilised, and they're like all the religious group, and they're the ones who integrate the lottery. But as time's gone on, people have noticed that they never ever lose the lottery. People in their group never lose the lottery. Everybody else does, strangely.
Yeah.
So there's also a bit of corruption going on there. You then got the KSR, who are like the sort of secret police of the society. But they just want to maintain. So the civilized want to maintain status quo because it works for them. The Nostri idea works really well for them. KSR just don't want the fighting to be carrying on. So they allies with the civilized because they want to stabilise everything, want the fighting to stop.
Yeah.
So if it's good for everyone overall, but they don't really care. The long coats who start off playing, his idea is he's basically a capitalist. And his idea is that basically the people who should eat are the ones who can't contribute to society. So the ones who are don't work properly or are too lazy, they're the ones who get took away and eaten. That's his idea. But he teams up with the common folk who are mice, and they represent the really poor of the society. And they want to put in a voting system so people get voted. Which sounds like more they think it's fairer, but what they don't point out is they're the most numerous people in the group, so in fact it heavily favours them. So you've got all these like four sides that really sort of they're sort of philosophy they're against each other, and basically the idea is whoever loses in this rebellion is going to end up on the feasting tables of their opponents. So you're literally fighting to not get eaten. But that's sort of the backstory. But how the actual game, it's quite dark. For a game that's about animals fighting wars, it's quite dark actually. Sorry.
Oh no, he's dying.
Oh no, not the feasting table.
Off you go. No. Now they won't eat you because you're tainted.
Yeah, well, got boar tape now. Got boar tape.
Oh my god.
So the way it works is it's sort of the best way I can describe it. It's almost like a third-person game. Like, so you don't select a unit and control a unit directly. You control your commander, who's either benefied or Archimedes and so forth.
This sounds like it's going the route of Brutal Legend, which was first it started off as a third-person hack and slash, which turned into a third-person real-time strategy game.
Well, you see, you can't fight. Your character can't fight.
Interesting. Okay.
So what he does, but he has a little flag. Okay, or she does. So what you do is, let's say, for example, you want to move a unit. You literally walk out when you move, and you'll basically hit. In this case, I've been using a controller because I want to see what's on the controller. It's the A button, and you just tap it, and he'll go, right, everybody move here.
Have you been using the Steam controller?
Yes.
Right. Does it come up with a Steam controller overlay or an Xbox controller overlay?
Xbox controller overlay, but since those mainly match the Steam controller anyway.
Sure.
But it does get confusing. Sometimes thinks it's keyboard mouse. It flips through the two occasionally.
Okay.
But
has it got a developer made layout for the Steam pad?
Yes, it's designed to be played. It's no developer one. It just basically picks up Steam controller like an Xbox controller.
Okay.
So it's very straightforward. You literally, I think you've got 5 buttons you use.
Okay.
So you use A, X, and B.
Well, because my main issue, because I don't mean to derail you, is your because you just mentioned that you were using a controller. I want to know if it was the Steam control. Because I've had experience with Steam controllers. It's usually the analog sticks or the touch pads that aren't configured properly in those.
The analog stick works fine. That moves your character about. So basically, on your interface, you'll have your character moving about. You'll then have all the different. You basically go in with up to 6 unit types. And you can flip between each unit type by swiping the on Xbox controller. You use the other analog stick to cycle through them. On this one, you swipe through using the little touchpad, which works fine. It's a bit so when you first use it, but once you get the hang of it, it works really quickly. You can flip through quite quickly. But yeah, basically, all you go is you literally walk up to someone, you just tap the A button, and you'll just literally pop a flag down and say, this is where I want you guys to move to, and they'll move and they'll attack anything on the route. You can also, if you go and if you hold the button A down, it'll say move here but don't attack. So that's what you use for like retreating. Okay. If you
go, that way you don't aggro another large group of.
Well, let's say for example you want, because obviously they'll slow down and stop to engage when they fight. But if say you want to retreat backwards, you don't want them to engage. You want them just to get out. Yeah. So you might want back and say no, just get back here. Yeah, just keep. But what you can do is if you go up to an enemy unit and you hold A this time, what happens instead is you'll start waving the flag around and basically say, focus your stuff on this. So literally you run. So you want combat match basically evolve into like this hit and run attack where you're going hit and running. And you notice you sort of sneak in, you sort of like perhaps just general target, then you'll run up to the enemy base, you literally say, right, everybody, just attack this. Where you get control of the unit, so your shoulder buttons, the right hand shoulder button is select everybody.
Right.
and everybody. And basically, basically it selects everybody, and so you come here. Actually, I think I've got it wrong. I think the shoulder buttons actually do the flag. Now I think about it, I think I got it wrong. Yeah, it's the shoulder buttons that do the flag. The left hand of the shoulder button is this unit only.
Right.
So when I see you swipe through, you've got like 6 unit types.
Yeah.
You swipe through. So let's say, for example, I've got the distillery boys who are like these drunken squirrels with pistols. Yeah, drunken squirrels with pistols. They basically say you've got their
unit type, press the left
and only they will come. Only they will come.
And is it only a select cluster or everyone of those on the map?
All those on the map. Because it doesn't. Because you're not really. Because it's so you're only controlling one guy controlling it. It doesn't matter because it's all you rely on hitting one tactics. This ain't a grand strategy game. Okay, you're not dealing because you can't run back and forth. I mean, you can do things like you can burrow into the ground. You can just instantly jump back to any of your. So your home base, you've got these grates mills, which are basically windmills, and that's where you then have your pig farms around them, and the pigs will farm the land for you, and they'll generate food, which is what you use to buy your units.
Sure.
And they will, and so but they're like your base. That's your base basically. And to generate units, you just build burrows for each unit type. But they can support a number of units. So let's say the squirrel one burrows, for example, will only support 3 squirrels at a time. So if you want more, you have to just keep building burrows again and again and again, which uses more food up.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a balancing act between, actually, and those bots just generate units automatically. You don't have to build them; they just generate units. Yeah. Once you've got food, as long as you've got the food supply, they'll generate units. Okay. Each farm has a limited amount of food. They have 300 food in each farm, which means eventually the farms go fallow. They still count as a building, but after a while, so after 5 minutes, so you get food every second. After 5 minutes, your farm goes fallow. You have no food left.
Right.
So the idea is basically it's to try and sort of make you keep moving, keep playing safe.
Yeah, rather than trying to kind of hunker down and expand.
Yeah. In their idea, the matches shouldn't last between more than 10 to 12 minutes.
That's fair.
It's designed to be literally a quick RTS, simplified RTS game, and it does work very well. It gets quite hard quite quickly. I've now got sort of like for the first campaign, sort of like teaching how to use it. I'm not the second campaign. I'm struggling for the second campaign.
Would you say this is down to use of the controller, or
no? It's down to me being a pleb.
Cool.
I'm just not very good at RTSs in general. I have to play them on easy normally.
I tend to say that about most games these days. Wow, that game must be really hard. No, I just suck. Unless it's Monster Hunter, in which case I'm okay.
Well, I will say that the mission I'm struggling because sometimes the missions have additional rules. So, for example, the mission I'm on at the moment is set in the desert, and basically, as long as I'm in friendly territory, it's fine. The second I leave friendly territory, every unit starts taking damage.
Oh, okay.
And that means when I say not friendly territory, I mean as in neutral territory as well. So as soon as you leave, so if you want to go attack the enemy base, you've got to march your army across them, and the whole time you're marching, they're just losing health. Yeah. Constantly.
So you have to hope that you can get over there and do enough damage.
Yeah. Or try and turn your way to their base by capturing the great symbols in between. Yeah. So you've got safe zones to get there, but. That is generally regarded as the hardest missions in the game. The
extra requirements or extra whatevers in a game are generally what break me as well. They're just like all of a sudden you've got this really hardcore formula down, and all of a sudden it throws in this little spanner gets thrown into the works, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, and then that.
Yeah. I mean, you get off things like water heals, so you can like jump into water if it gets healed up quickly, which is handy. So, but it's definitely designed. It's really neatly done because it's designed to. Play on the thing, and it's nice because your commander's not invulnerable. If your commander can get killed, doesn't matter though, they just respawn back. You just choose where they respawn. So death is cheap in that regard. You won't wear everyone out, but what it does mean is whilst your commander is dead, you're not commanding any units.
Yeah, so they're just kind of loafing about.
Well, let's say you've led a whole army of units into a base and you realise you're not going to win and you want to pull out. If you get killed, they're still in that base being wiped out because they're just following orders. Because they won't. There's no follow command. But literally, you have to say, move here. So if you move again, you've got to move here again. So if your guys are in that base, until you respawn, they're dying. Yeah. And you can end up losing. It's definitely one that, if you cock up, there's not a lot of forgiveness in it.
Yeah, it hurts you.
Particularly with playing, because from what I've heard about people been playing the multiplayer, if you play against a good player, if you fuck up just once, you've had it.
Yeah, which makes sense because you know, RTS players, they are looking for that one move you do wrong, and that one input off.
And when it's a very quick game, you know, when it's actually going to last 10 minutes, you know, a 30-second mistake, that's 20 of the match you've wasted. So,
can I throw out there? We need to play some Armello at some point as well.
We do indeed.
We keep saying it, but we never do.
Yeah, no, we do need to start. We do need to be Armelloing away.
We love Armello.
I love my Armello. I do.
Armello.
Crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside.
Armello. Or Armadillo.
Yeah.
I haven't just thrown out Armello. I haven't played Armello properly actually since the beta.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, they changed a lot in the actual game. They've added in story and stuff.
I last played it when it had an actual story in it.
Yeah, I haven't properly played that yet. It's like an extended tutorial, and I was like, "What the fuck's this?" But yeah. I need to play that again.
Yeah, we'll have to pick that up. But no, yeah. So I do. If you like the sort of RTSs, I do recommend giving Tooth and Tail a go. It's very different. It's not quite. It's on Linux. It's now being ported to PS4. They've now finished PS4 port.
Right, cool.
They would like to, although I'm not sure they're going to, they'd like to do a Switch version as well.
That would be nice.
But I think it's just, they're basically about this, and they can't, because they're indie developers, they've got to justify the cost of porting to a Switch. So
the thing is, though, the Switch dev kit is way cheaper than the PlayStation 4 dev kit.
Yeah.
Which is... Damn.
That's all they did. This isn't their first game. Perhaps they already had a PS4 dev kit available.
Well, maybe that was what they aimed to put it on to start with.
Yeah, but it's on Linux.
I will have to pick it up. I did see it was. On sale the other day.
Yeah, that's what I picked up. Yeah.
And I didn't. I thought I'll wait until it go on sale again or whatever, and I should have got it.
Yeah.
Because it is on my wish list. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
No. Yeah. I'd pick it up. It's. Then hopefully you're not as useless as me at playing it.
We'll see. I'll try and live stream and get it.
I don't suspect I'll be getting. I'm on the second of four campaigns. I don't suspect I'll be getting to the third campaign. At this
point. You gotta do it.
Yeah. All that's almost means you can play all the missions.
Okay.
So when you start off, you sort of in between each mission, you're like in your territory's camp, as it were. So the long coat's in a pub. And you walk round, and basically the parts will be closed off to you. But as you complete missions, they'll open up.
Sure.
But once you complete them, you just walk up to and just replay the mission.
Which is neat.
Yeah, so you can. Yeah, it is. So you can just go back and constantly play all your missions. Oh, and every map's randomly generated as well.
Oh, nice.
So you can play the same mission 3 times on a different map every single time.
So you can't get used to, say, bum rushing a certain thing.
No.
Like you can't learn a particular strategy, or whether you have to adapt as you go.
It does mean though you can be screwed by the random generator, and you can start levels like, well, I'm fucked, and that's something actually. There's no restart mission button control. The only way to restart
there's no reroll.
No,
okay.
The only way to restart the mission is basically says points was like, well, I've lost. I'm not going to win this. You know, he's cut all my farms. I've got 6 food left. I can't buy another unit with that much food, with that little food. I just got to wait for him to come kill me now, and then you go back to the Rowan, which is what they call your home base, and then you have to go back. Then you have to relaunch the mission from there. It'd be nice if there's a main option to say relaunch mission. So when you get to the stage where you're fucked, you can just relaunch the mission and start from scratch. But that's what people do. It's like constantly just keep relaunching and get a good map. But might as well feel that. So well, if that's how they want to play the game,
yeah, for sure.
So that's it. That's probably my
maybe they should have made it so it didn't scum you out as much.
Maybe, but that's kind of its charm. I mean, it's kind of charm.
Okay, out of 10, how many times do you get a duff map?
I've only had it. To be fair, I've only had a map which has been very problematic for me once by RNG, so it's not been that bad.
Oh, okay, that's
but right. As our post puts the thing, is that as you get more experience, apparently that becomes less of an issue.
Sure.
Because you'll learn the tricks to deal with it. And basically, what happened to this one is that it put me right at the top of a hill. And because it's the hilly bits, there's less space for me to build things. So I had to like expand outwards quicker than I normally would to build things, basically.
Oh yeah, sure. I see. So you were pissing away resources faster than you.
Yeah, it does the old thing of giving your opponent an unfair start. which a lot of RTS do. So the desert one, you start with 1 great spill and like 3 farms. The Capusa starts like 5 and all farmed up. So he's going to be producing a lot more food than you're going to be producing.
Sure.
So, but I mean, it's doable. It's just I'm shit.
Okay, I'll when it next goes on sale. How much is it full price?
15 quid.
Well, that's not bad.
15.
Fuck, why didn't I get it?
Yeah, 15 quid. It's not expensive.
Kicking myself now. Not that you. That said, though, I have dismantled my Steam rig, my machine. Well, I've been working off my laptop a lot. So my.
Not the Steam rig.
Well, I was like, no, because here's the thing. So that's my Linux gaming machine. It's just a generic, Linux installation with Steam on it. I was tempted to, if I took all of my kind of important data off there and the stuff that I was working on off there, to wipe it and just put Steam OS on there.
Alright.
And turn it into, just consoleify my machine. Not that would really make any difference, because it's just a case of SuperKey, Steam, and then, because I've got my lap board, haven't I? So it was just like using a PC anyway. I need to get that machine back.
Yeah. He's always moaning when he wants to put it back.
Yeah. Oh.
Put it in the office, leave it running, just Steam Link it.
Yeah. Or I could just play the games on my laptop. I could just Steam Link, rather than Steam Link it, because I've got so many disposable computers. That could run Steam. Just use those as a Steam Link.
Yeah. Could do. Why not? So yeah, that's Chief and Tail. Cool. No news this week, but I thought I'd talk about we could talk about our mutual rekindling of pen and paper RPGs.
Yay!
So
can I go get my box?
Go get your box. This will only work for the
video
listeners.
Hang on, video listeners.
Not for the audio viewers.
Audio watchers, just wait. I'll make sound effects. Well, I won't.
Look. He's been sitting
I'll bring the whole box, including the laughable game that I got delivered.
Yeah. This is what he's been playing. It's called the Spa magazine. So in this issue, you can get.
Was I sat on that?
You're sat on that. You can get Ben J's ice cream for £2.50.
It's only sat on the local paper.
Yes, yeah. Thornton's classic chocolate for £5. What else have we got? Oh.
What?
There's a dog with a cartoon cat.
Poor dog. They couldn't even put a real cat there.
No, they couldn't. You little cat, they also couldn't get past cat's agent.
God, that delay.
Yeah.
I've only just sat down.
Win a lot for £2.50.
Right.
Oh look, you can buy penny reggae pasta for 83p.
Amazing. Where is it? Spa.
That's Spa shit, isn't it?
Right.
Oh look, coupons. We're in America.
Fucking coupons.
I'm just going to give Charles. There you go, Charles.
Bless him. Podcast dog. Right, first off, the best pen and paper RPG I have. This is my box of pen and paper RPGs, which doesn't just have pen and paper RPGs in it. And this is something that I started picking these up again, what, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, we sort of spoke about it because I have been thinking about getting back into pen and paper RPGs because I used to play when I was younger. I used to be DM when I was younger.
I couldn't do DM.
I love doing a DM because I get full control. I can take whatever. It's awesome. And I got into it when another podcast that we both listened to. I listened to it briefly. They did a Christmas special where they played Dungeons and Dragons. I just thought, I always thought it was quite fun. I fancy picking it up again. So that's when I went and basically I bought the starter set. And then about a week later, I caved and bought the Player's Handbook, the Monster Man, the Dungeon Master's Guide as well.
That's expensive.
That was £80 expensive.
Was that £80 the whole lot?
Oh no, that was for the 3 core rule books.
Okay, cool.
And then the starter set as well was about starter set. I mean, it's actually, to be fair, D&D, I have to say they've done really clever at the moment. That you can go onto their website and download the basic rules. And the rules come. That's the basic rule. That's pretty much the entire main rule book. It has 4 character type classes and has 4 races in it. Right, you can download that for free. Nothing.
And let's be fair, didn't original D&D only have a handful of races in it?
Yeah, I've pulled up my original books from somewhere. So that's, you can download that for free. Okay, you can download the Dungeon Master's Guide, which is basically a monster manual and a few other bits. But I mean, it's got like 80 pages of monsters in it for free off their website. You download that. So if you're not interested, that's enough. That's enough to get you started. To be fair, the starter set comes with a proper rule book. Well, I say proper. It comes with an actual rule book rather than the Player's Handbook. But again, it's mostly what you saw online anyway. It comes with 5 pre-gen characters, a set of dice, and it comes with a campaign. Okay, the campaign is actually very decent compared to some of the other starter campaigns. This one's actually very decent. I mean, we've been doing evening sessions for a couple of hours a week. We've done 2 so far. So we've literally just got back into this, and we're still on the first part of the campaign.
Jesus.
It's a 4-part campaign, and the first part's quite a small part of it. We're only on the first part still. It's took us 4 hours to get through it. So, and they're not being slow. They're just they're just enjoying it.
They're enjoying the atmosphere.
Yeah. So I reckon the campaign is going to take about 12 to 14 hours to complete.
Sure.
So that's not bad for
It's about $13, isn't it?
13 quid. That's you know, you could buy a PC game or a computer game for 13 quid. That'll give you that much enjoyment. Well, you know what I mean. You know, and then you buy from that, and that, to be fair, is enough to keep you going for a long time. You could make your own missions off that. To be fair,
yeah, for sure. Because you've got a set of monsters. You've got characters.
Well,
you just
download the monster map, the thing off the website, and that's it. You've got another set. You could pretty much carry on.
Yeah.
But there must be something right, because I immediately bought Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master Guide, the Monster Manual, which I have been using, so I've started writing my own missions now, because I used to buy all pre-built, and now I'm writing my own ones now.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
So
I've never finished a campaign, and I've only ever played in other people's stuff. I have... However, I owned previous books, I don't remember. I might have done.
I've got at home...
But I've never used a starter set.
I've played a couple of star sets.
Right.
They've done it right this time, because the star set is the exact same rules. I mean, if you actually look at the rule book and compare it to the star set's rule books, they're virtually word for word the same. There's a few little bits else from different printings, and the Player's Handbook's got more artwork in it.
Yeah.
But it is basically the same, exact same rule sets. It all works the same. Whereas in previous editions, the star set, I can't talk about 4th edition because I've never played 4th edition. From what I heard, that's terrifying, 4th edition. The previous rules was the starter sets were like a simplified version of the main book, so it had like missing loads of rules, just enough to get you by. But because they've streamlined the whole rule system, I mean, what I need to show you actually to prove this is I'll show you a character sheet from 3rd edition and compare it to character sheet from 5th edition. I looked at there's literally so many stats on there to calculate. The way you do everything, the way skills work, the way save throws work, it's all so much simplified.
Well, I can say I remember back when we were going to start in college, which was probably back in 2004, 2005.
Yeah, it would have been 2004, yeah.
We were going to start a campaign, and I think you were going to DM.
I was going to DM, yeah.
But just the time it would have taken us to...
We sat and we rolled characters one day, and it took us about 2.5 hours to roll the characters.
Yeah, well, I don't even think we'd all finished.
No, we didn't.
It was a long-ass process. That was 3.5, wasn't it?
That was 3.
Oh, okay.
That was 3. I've got 3 and 3.5. 3.5 basically fixed. It's pretty much the same, but just fixed a few bits.
Sure.
I mean, it's the amount of maths that was involved with 3rd edition was, you don't realise until you look back at it. So you have things called skills, and that's their generic way of basically making you find out if you can do something. So the DM will say, okay, will think to himself, right, this is quite a hard task. I want to give it a difficulty check of 20, and let's say it's a lock you want to pick, and then you'll roll a dice and you'll add your lock picking skill, and if it's higher than 20, you get in. 3rd edition, how your lock picking skill was your attribute bonus. So you basically got attribute bonus, which was based on relevant attributes. So you got base attributes: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So picking locks was dexterity. So you roll. So your dexterity is one of your attribute bonus. You then got a skill rank bonus, so you had to purchase ranks in the skill. Okay. You then got other bonuses related to things like thievery tools and so forth, and so you had that on it. So you had all these three things together. Now you got skill ranks. Some skills were class skills, some were cross-class skills, and you can only buy half your skill. You can only buy half rank of your skill ranks. You can see already this is starting to go.
It gets a
what
little
the fuck? Yeah, how does this work? New one. It's okay. You have efficiency bonus, which is based on your level, plus 2 is your starting bonus, right? Your ability modifiers they're still there. Represent your book. That's how they basically represent why a high ability score is better than a low ability score. So your skills work. Are you proficient in it? Yes or no? If yes, you add your proficiency bonus. If no, you add your ability modifier. And basically the difference between proficient, you get a proficiency bonus as well as your ability modifier. So if you're a thief, you might have your ability modifier might be +3 and your proficiency bonus +2. So it's a lockpick. +5. They've amalgamated a lot of skills together. So in 3rd edition, you might have a skill for like, I think you have to remember a good example. You'd like a skill for spotting and a skill for listening. They've now combined together into a skill called perception, which does both. Does both. So whereas before you literally your character sheet would have like a whole page of skills, now it's literally about 20 different skills, and so it's very quick and easy to go. Okay, I want you to do this.
Yeah.
But their biggest thing they've put in, which really is such a simple thing that's made all the difference, is it puts a thing called advantage and disadvantage. So all that basically means if you've got advantage on something, you roll a d20, you roll it twice, and you pick the highest score. Disadvantage, you roll it twice, and you pick the lowest score.
Right.
Simple thing, but means it's great. So it's like, okay, you want to climb this, but you're holding something heavy, and the old skill you've got disadvantage. Also, all the rules break down onto this. So if you're knocked over, anyone attacking you has got advantage, and you've got disadvantage. Straightforward, simple things. You get advantage. So it's really straightforward. It's so much simpler. And my group I play at the moment struggled like hell on 3rd edition because it's just so much involved. And I end up basically doing all the maths for them. This they can actually cope with and handle quite happily.
But from what I understand, your group is actually quite a seasoned group of D&D players, aren't they? Well, they've played it before. For a long time.
They've played before. I've got a couple of groups I've worked with. One's played before but missed out for years. They weren't so into it as I was, but they still played because I was playing it. Another group is a little bit more into it, but again, they prefer it's a lot more simpler. And also, I prefer D&D, which is more about the role playing, less about the combat. Combat's fun, but if I want to do hack and slash combat, I just play a computer game. The one thing that a computer game can't replicate is role playing properly. No matter there's no role playing game out there that can properly replicate the actual. Oh, hello, I'm so and so, because they can't guess every possible thing you might want to say.
Can't. No.
So you have 4 options, and there's quite often it's like, well, no, there's a route for what I actually want to say, or they have to be really obvious. When you're sat across from another player and you're role playing with them. And you actually go and some of your conversations go off right off the rails, but it's fun because you can go with it, you can work with it, and you can work things around. That's the D&D I like. And I hate the combat.
It's the main reason I hate Fallout 3.
Yeah, well, any RPG to be honest.
Like specifically Fallout 3, depending on where was Fallout 3 the one where you could nuke the town?
Yes.
And the woman survived, and you know why that happened?
Well, she came in Google actually.
Because they actually, they actually put in effort into her quest line. So if you'd just killed her off before you'd even, that would have been a waste. So things don't carry as much weight because they've had to write it a certain way.
Yeah, I mean that would have been the brave thing too. Is like that quest line's gone. Yeah, sorry, you screwed up. You've lost that quest line.
Yeah. But clearly they realised that was the only quest line. To be fair,
Morrowind, you could fuck up the quest.
Oh god, yeah. You could stop the entire main campaign.
They tell you though.
Yeah, many a time in Morrowind, which was the last Elder Scrolls game I truly liked because it was the one that I used to kind of walk around and like, oh wow, this is kind of cool, it's different, blah blah blah. It didn't tell me where to go or what to do. Like, kind of the game tells you that you should go and do something. but it didn't have a big arrow telling me where to go.
Yeah, no quest markers.
You know, which I like that because that means I get to explore. I don't like things. Sometimes I like things telling me where to go, but you don't have to be ridiculously obvious about it.
Yeah.
I used to break into some like houses to get armor early on, right? And there was this one house that had a shit ton of decent armor. I can't even remember the armor type. For a laugh, I remember once breaking in just to steal a glass dagger, but I stole this dagger and then stabbed the woman in the house with it.
Yeah.
And it was like, yep, you've just gone and fucked up the main quest line because you've just gone and killed the main character. I was like, oh shit! I was like,
but would you not rather it not told you that?
Depends really, because if yes, I'd have rather it not told me about it because then I would have been like, oh shit, and then realised she was a main character. However, if I'd have killed that person and then started going through the main story arc and then found that I couldn't go any further because I literally axed the quest off about 15 hours earlier, then I'd have been pretty pissed.
Yeah. The way it should do it would be is like, okay, have those alternate routes.
Yes, have a supplementary.
Say 3 or 4 different routes that you could potentially fuck up if you cut off those trees, those branches, but you've got the odds of you doing it quite low. But wouldn't that be great if you got a message up saying, look, we gave you so many ways to do this, you've done all of them, you've really fucked this up, we're going to restart the game, delete your save now.
Yeah, you had 15 chances.
Like Morrowind.
You had 15 chances, you fucked it up, deleted save, look, if you do this again, we're just going to format C. Done.
Yeah.
Because now you're getting on our nerves. We can't even be bothered to uninstall the game. We're just going to delete your life.
My main memory of playing Morrowind was I bought it with all the DLC.
I played it before that game.
And I bought the DLC, and you start the game, and literally I go and I think I watch you walk out. What's the name of the town you start in?
I don't remember.
Signed, something like that.
I remember stepping off the boat.
I got told to go and there's a cave over there, so things I'll go kill it. Okay, I go in the cave, meet the first thing, it nearly kills me, so I go outside the front and think I'll just wait here until I get better. So I go to sleep outside, and I woken up in the middle of the night by this dark Brotherhood assassin trying to kill me. And I managed to kill him and sort of get off him. It's like, oh, we've been sort of conjuring to kill this guy. I thought, I've only just got here. I've literally been here a day, and already there's assassins after me. They won't fuck off. They keep coming and coming and coming. He's like, oh, for crying out loud. So let's give it a week, Morrowind.
I learned to break the game very quickly. It was one of the first real... See, back in the Morrowind days, if you broke the game, it was fun breaking the game.
Yeah.
Once you got to Oblivion and Skyrim, it was broken just because Bethesda didn't do their job.
Yeah. No more destroying and ruin the main quest now. Oh, the character's unconscious.
Well, no, like that. Not even that so much, but like you would in Morrowind, you could glitch out Soul Trap and make enhancement spells permanent.
Yeah.
So let's say I wanted a speed boost, I could Soul Trap, combine Soul Trap with something else, like the skill that increases my speed or whatever. Fire that into a corner like a wall. Go and stand where the Soul Trap ball was then spinning before it wears off. Walk into it, get that buff, and it never goes away. So eventually, I'm running so fast that I break physics.
Well, that's how the guy completes it in 20 minutes, isn't he? He makes an alchemy spell potion that improves alchemy, and cause it stacks. So he improves his alchemy skill. He then makes another potion that improves alchemy. Now, because potion's potentness is based on your alchemy skill, because he's already improved it, he does it again but at a higher level, so he makes a higher level. He then drinks that again, he then does another alchemy, and he keeps doing this. His alchemy skill later he gets to the point where it's going to buff overflow. He then creates a thing that basically increases like his strength He then just walks to where the main bad guy is, the one you've got to kill at the end, drinks his strength potion, just walks up to him, just punches in the face and kills him instantly.
See, that's what we were doing back in the Morrowind days. We were soul trapping to the point that you could box out guards in plate mail. You could be running around in your underpants and just fucking punch a guy and watch him go down. And that was brilliant, absolutely fucking brilliant. And then you get to Oblivion, and Oblivion wasn't bad, but it wasn't that ending. No. And Skyrim, I mean, come on, look, Bethesda. If I can side strafe and hop my way up the side of a cliff, not a problem. My character's
To be fair,
fine.
that's not a Bethesda thing. That's every game with a cliff in it. You can,
Sure,
you can pretty much side strafe and.
Sure, but Bethesda
everywhere,
games
can't
it's
you?
much easier, and plus when I'm then walking down a hill with, I don't know, there's that much of a gradient, you know, just so light, it's just a light path. Oh, fell over, broken both of my legs, and I'm dead. It's like, how the fuck did I do that? Yeah, you're not allowed to go that way. But you just let me scale that fucking cliff. Yeah, well, you know, because reasons.
Horses were magic because they could actually scale cliffs. The horses are remarkable rock climbers in Skyrim.
For sure. Magic. Well, I don't actually think I have a horse in Skyrim. I've just been walking around.
I've got Shadowmere, but I've lost him. He's somewhere. I don't know where he is.
I've lost him.
Well, I locked Shadowmere from the above the crest line. Although I think in the Oblivion he was a she, but then I think in Skyrim he's now a he. So he's a trans horse.
There you go.
So I've locked
got to fit something in there.
I've locked him. But I parked him somewhere and I can't remember where.
He's been clamped.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back and be a ticket, loads of tickets stuck to him. It's like, oh shit.
But where's my horse? It's like under that pile of paper.
I'm just going to go back to my house from Hearthstone. I'm just going to get a letter come for the door saying, penalty notice, you owed your horse in on this date.
Your horse has been impounded.
Your horse has been crushed.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
We attempted to contact you 3 times, you didn't respond, so
I've been adventuring!
It's like, buy horse. Yeah, we don't care if you're the hero of the story, your horse is gone. Feel guilt, because you haven't felt guilt about anything else, like leaving your horse in the middle of the path, there's shit everywhere. Think about poor
Mavis,
who had to clean that up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the hero! Yeah, well, that doesn't make you above the law, does it?
Yeah. No. So, he's somewhere, I need to find him. I don't know what I've done with him, I've lost him somewhere.
Somewhere.
I had a horse before who was absolutely mental, he used to attack dragons.
As you do.
I don't know why, I thought a horse would be scary, but no, he used to dragons would go after me, he used to fuck off and try and fuck him up. He literally sat there, just when I used to knock it down, and it'd be on the ground, this horse used to run over, just keep jumping and pounding his head.
And you're like,
fucking hell, horse.
I'm staying the fuck away from that horse.
I used to, do you know what? Nowhere like, he used to deal bandits for me. If I got attacked by bandits, jump off, run away, and the horse would deal with them for me. And then I just said that this is watching as he pounds these bandits to a mulch, and then he sort of trot back over to me and say, yeah, shall we go, mate?
Yeah, sorted it, mate.
You're a cool horse. I'm happy with you.
Shall we all go to the pub then? It's like, fucking hell. With you mad bastard with a fucking knife in his teeth.
I imagine me saying, no, I don't think I fancy the pub. And the horse is saying, we're going to the pub. So we'll hoof pick him up. Yeah, we're going to the pub. Yeah,
all right, mate,
you're buying. Yes, I'm buying.
Draw around. What? Oh god.
You've never seen a horse drunk on Stella, have you?
Well,
it's terrifying.
Fucking nightmare. I mean, for me, Skyrim is just a nice little kind of walk around. I still don't like the story. I still think it's horribly broken. It is still horribly broken.
I think the world, there's more going on in the world compared to Oblivion. Because you've got that civil war brewing in the background. That's a bit more interesting than Oblivion, which had nothing really in the background.
I don't really care much for it.
But it's nice that
I occasionally see characters walking around and then they're like standing in the middle of the town square going, yeah, I think so-and-so is part of the rebel faction, really loud. And it's like, don't tell anyone. Okay, I won't. Parts ways. It's like,
have you heard about the Grey Fox?
Just don't. Right. Can we get to...
Shall we open the magic box?
Right. So, I realised we should have probably flipped these round. I should have probably done that beforehand, because you've already mentioned the Dungeons & Dragons starter box. Anyway, right, the first one, which is the best pen and paper one, right, and this is going to be of no benefit to the audio viewers.
No.
Right.
I'm sure I can find a picture I can put in the show.
Yeah, right, so the best one is Senran Kagura, Peach Beach Splash, the Girls of Paradise edition, which is basically Splatoon for PlayStation 4. No, that is not a pen and paper RPG, and by the way, this came through the post just like this with cellophane and a label on it.
For the audio viewers, it's basically a picture of about 50, 60 scantily clad Japanese girls to the point where they're virtually wearing nothing.
Yeah.
And literally, there's nothing's left to the imagination. And yeah, that came through the door with just a nothing, just clear cellophane.
Literally clear cellophane and a label.
Yeah. Your postman must know you well.
It's Splatoon with boobs.
Boobs.
Boobs. It's got boobs. This one is also a really good one. It's Neo.
This is wife. He bought some me.
Yeah, well, I thought that Ram really wanted to get into the, he's really into the latest anime and manga, so, why not? Nope. More things for Ram, really, in the grand scheme of things. Who wants a full set of Hack 5 field guides on the latest pen testing equipments? You probably don't. Because you would never do that kind of thing.
No.
It's always fun to read up, though, even though I barely understand a fucking word, but that's always fun. Right, pen and paper RPGs, we finally got there. Ta-da! Like the entire first section of the boxes, But trust me, from about here down is...
For the audio viewers, that's about 6 inches.
Right. We have...
White box.
2 copies of White Box. Do you want to read the bit on the back?
It's an RPG game. Unleash your imagination to dream of other worlds where you roleplay heroic... Hang on a second, that doesn't make sense. You're going to dream of other worlds where you roleplay people. So you're going to roleplay dreaming of roleplaying people.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to dream of a dream. You're going to break everything.
Go on adventures just like in Days of Old. That never happened.
I was going to say, I never...
Slay a Dragon, that didn't happen, unless your name was George. Sometimes in the most reluctant adventure, we'll hear the call of the wilderness and set out to slay a dragon or at least steal its treasure. Explore the unknown! There is no limit to the lands you can explore and magic you can discover. Fight on! So grab your sword, mace or wand and travel beyond the borderlands. I don't know, borderlands, I had a gun.
Wow.
Embrace yourself to face great and terrible monsters and remember, no matter what happens, fight on! You see why I'm a DM, can't you?
Right, so I've got 2
books, and they're basically the same.
I haven't read through them both, so I can't really say, but I'll say yes. But basically, right, so these are, if you want to get into pen and paper RPGs, not a bad place to start because I haven't really played, I can't really comment on the quality of it, but basically, £5.
Yeah.
Full thing, you can play with this, that's all you need.
From looking through it, it's more reminiscent of classic D&D.
Yes, yeah, these are all based on
like
classic
advanced Dungeons, which is like one of the very early.
Well, once upon a time, Dungeons and Dragons was called White Box.
Was it?
Yes. There was a White Box Dungeons and
Dragons.
Oh,
right. It was Dungeons and Dragons, but it was in a
White Box. So it was called the White Box.
Oh, right.
And then later on, they had the Blue Box, which was, I believe, the simplified or a remastered simplified version.
Like that, yeah.
Right. Then we have Basic Fantasy, which is another modernisation of D&D.
But still very close to classic.
Yeah, we're talking like 3.5, but with tweaks.
Yeah, I would say it's still close to prior to 3.5.
Sure, okay, sure.
For what I've seen of it, it looks close to that.
So we've got this one. Right, Basic Fantasy, if you want to get into a pen and paper RPG, this is probably one of the best ways to get into it. Now, again, I haven't finished reading the book and I haven't had a chance to play it yet because I haven't had it. I haven't had the actual paper book long. What, like a couple of weeks?
Something like that. Just so to clarify, is that another copy or was that the copy you showed me a couple
That
of
was the copy that I had before.
Yeah. It'd be very you to buy another copy.
Yes, it would be, and I am actually tempted to.
Yeah.
But the bonus to Basic Fantasy is one, the physical book, very cheap, like £5.
Amazon printed.
Yes, printed by Amazon. So if you're in France and you order it from Amazon, you will get it printed in France or wherever. If you're in Great Britain, UK, printed there. United States, yours is printed in the States. I like that method of dealing with books.
Yeah.
To be honest, and it's pretty good. I'd say this is pretty good quality.
Oh, they are. My sister writes a lot for Amazon's. The her quality of books are pretty darn good. It's amazing how good they are, actually.
About $5. Pretty pleased with this one. But the bonus to Basic Fantasy is, it actually says it on the back, don't buy this book. Well, not yet anyway. The Basic Fantasy role-playing game rules are available for free on our website, basicfantasy.org. There you will also find adventures, alternate rules, and other supplementary materials to enhance your game.
It's basically open source D&D.
Yes. So, that's actually what they call it. It's the open source pen and paper RPG. Yeah. So basically, if you want to play this, and you don't want to pay for the book, because they don't really make much of any money on this, it's practically a cost.
Yeah.
You can go and download it from basicfantasy.org and, you know...
Link in the show notes.
Right. Let's have a look. What have we got here? We've got Field Guide.
Which is the monster manual, basically.
Mm-hmm. Stone.
Loads of adventure books.
Yeah, we've got, I believe this is every single module currently available for Basic Fantasy.
It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So there's quite a few there. Most of these come in at £2 a pop. So between, I think the most expensive one I paid for was maybe £4, which was the big ass thick one, which is apparently, you know, your end game of Basic Fantasy. This is supposed to be your, is this the one? Yeah, this is supposed to be your toughest module for Basic Fantasy. This entire set, I believe, coming at around 50 quid.
It's not bad for a piece of RPG.
Considering Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook and
Star said about 40 quid, just those two.
Yeah, so if you want to play the full set of Basic Fantasy, it's the same as 2 parts of D&D. So or completely for free if you want to download and print your own. Then we have the Mythic Fantasy role-playing game, which is actually kind of one of the things that it was this that helped me find.
I will say the book for that one. Whenever I see it, I just feel it looks like a sort of a biology textbook from the early 90s.
Yeah, yeah. It was this book that helped me find Basic Fantasy. The author of this book pointed out Basic Fantasy once, and I was, oh, okay, cool, I'll check that out. I happen to like Bark's music, so I felt I would check out his pen and paper role-playing game. I wasn't aware that he was a pen and paper role player, so when I found out he'd made his own system, I was just waiting for an excuse to buy it, and I had a few quid spare, so I bought it and then bought Basic Fantasy. This one, I don't really know how I feel to it. As it is, it's written well. I imagine it's going to play as well as any of the other systems, but there's a lot of world building in there already, and it's using a lot of European names that I just couldn't begin to pronounce. Yeah. So like it'll say, oh, such and such happens on such and such a day, and then you read further through, and then there's like a little kind of there's like a little set at the back, there's like a summary sheet of all of the like special days that happen in this world or whatever. It's like I had, like, you literally had to understand it all. You'd probably have to read through this 3 or 4 times, and still have to maybe come up with your own cheat sheet. Maybe the more familiar you get with the game, not going to be that big of a deal. I know all these other games you're going to have to go through and kind of, you know, you have to read them a good few times before you understand what the fuck's going on. But it's literally because of the way things are written, the terminology, the special magic days they have, and things like that. I don't understand.
There's a lot of world building going on.
Yeah, and it's something that I don't quite understand. It's not something that's going to be quick to grasp. But I'm sure that once you get into the world, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Yeah. I mean, they have maps and things like that you can check out, and they really want you to be immersed in this world. And I mean, one of the things that I really liked about it, other than it being printed by Amazon, was that right at the start, Mythic Fantasy role-playing game was originally made as an educational tool for homeschooling.
Oh.
First page of the book, and you know, it's nicely written, it's nicely laid out. The print is good. It's another one printed by Amazon. So you know, this one's $10. VAR gets a kickback from it if you buy it. So, you know, it's all good. And these ones are more your babies.
Yes. So we've got, oh dear.
Came through like that.
Oh, that's not good.
Nope.
So he's just handed me, so the D&D Player's Handbook.
Yep.
Actually, we'll look at the star set first.
This
you might open this, do you?
No, go for it. So that's why it would probably been better that I had. I should have probably put that on the top when you were talking about it to start with. So,
star set of dice. You get. This is the event you get, the Lost Minor Fandelver. This, I'll say, this is probably, I'm going to guess, depending on your group, between 10 to 15 hours of gameplay, depending on your group. It's beautifully done. I mean, it's well laid out. So you've got your initial starter mission, which is quite straightforward, gives you an idea of what delving's like. The next mission, you basically is very much a case of you go to places and there's lots of side quests you pick up. The third set is doing those side quests, and there's about 5 or 6 side quests to do, which is quite good. And then the final mission is the big finale, which is again is another deep place. Don't want to go into too much. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who might be going as a player. But if you're interested in DMing, this is a really, I've read through it. It's really well laid out, very well written. There's a few bits in it. There is one nasty bit in it. They have a encounter. And the idea of the encounter is meant to make people realise they can't always win. The trouble is, it's way too easy to TPK somebody, total party kill. In actual fact, basically, you'll come across it like your players will come across it like level 2, and they'll be facing like a level 8 monster. And the level 8 monster can do enough damage in one hit to pretty much wipe out one person in one go. It's meant to, but for reading up, a lot of people are actually cutting that bit out, or they're severely, or they're weakening it, or they're doing something else, because you actually get a hell of a lot of XP for it, but you can, if people don't realise that, they can so easily be fucked up by it.
There was some stuff like that in Mythic Fantasy role-playing game. You know how you said that, that module will take a good 15 hours or so to go through. A group started for the first time, gone through Mythrog, and they got absolutely wrecked in 2 hours. Like, I mean, 2 hours flat, one session dead, gone. And it was apparently a lot of suffering as they were going through it.
Starter rulebook, so that's the rulebook. That's pretty much the main section. So this bit's again split to bits. Pretty much the main rules from the Player's Handbook in this rulebook. It's about 30 pages long, but that is pretty much the core rules you need to play. You can actually go from this. You could pretty much run D&D from this. Yes, you don't have access to the classes, but you get in here 5. I won't get these up because these are all tied together. But in the bottom, there's 5 pre-owned classes ready to go. What's quite nice about the characters, the characters haven't got names or anything. They're just like they're bare bones. So they have all the sort of the important stuff, all the abilities put in and so forth. But
you get to personalise.
You can personally put your own name on them. They doesn't say if they're male or female, so you can be man, woman, or whatever. Fully personalisable, so forth. They do come with backgrounds. Oh, and incidentally, you can reprint these character sheets off the D&D website. They're all on there. You can reprint them all. So if you're like me, doesn't like copying our originals or what, so you can scribble and not worry about, I've run and reprinted them all. So all my players have got copies and they can scribble them to hot. It doesn't matter, because I can just go reprint them again if I need to. So I will say D&D's a lot better at resources now. The amount of resources available to you now if you get into D&D is
I remember back in the day you had to get like fan-made character sheets and stuff like that.
You can print off all the character sheets. The one thing they are missing at D&D 3.5 is you which bought the Player's Handbook, you've got a character creator disc, the CD-ROM you put in.
It's before midnight!
Oh, well done.
And my wife has returned.
And it allows you to basically create your character by using the CD-ROM. And you work through step by step, and it'll do it all for you.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. Well, on the website, it has got a template which you can fill in. So you click on it, it's basically an interactive PDF, and you can fill in all the details yourself manually and have your character back in there, and have your character ready to go, which is neat. But yeah, I think you'll enjoy that.
Sure, I'll look into it. I mean, I'll probably read it through.
Yeah.
I don't see myself having. A few people since I picked up all this stuff have said, "Hey, should we play? Should we play D&D? Should we play Basic Fantasy?" I just haven't had a chance to properly sit down and play.
I won't break the spoilers. This is Skazz's copy, so he gets the pleasure of breaking the spoilers. But Player's Handbook, the main interesting is what this doesn't have is hasn't got any of the character classes ready to go in it. So this is enough in here to get up to level 5. This has got in it everything you need to get up to level 20, and there is 8 races and I think 13 classes to pick from, and all in all details in here. You've got all the spells as well. There's literally about 100 pages of spells in here. It's roughly 100 pages on character creation, 100 pages on like sort of adventuring, background deals and so forth, and 100 pages of spells roughly.
Sure.
So, and it's beautiful. The artwork is absolutely beautiful.
That is one thing I will say about D&D, especially over the ages, because once upon a time, the artwork in D&D looked like it was done by a 5-year-old.
It was probably done by a 5-year-old.
Some of the artwork in these books, absolutely beautiful.
On the monster manual especially, every monster pretty much apart from the basic monsters, which are things like goats, sheep, pigs, they don't have artwork because they're not really needed. But all the monster manual,
know what a pig looks like.
Google.
No, what? I kind of figure on the internet looking for things like pig, sheep, and all that.
But in the monster manual, every page for each monster has big illustration of it. So, therefore, I was playing with a group and playing a while. I said, "Oh, you encounter a bugbear," and I subscribed to them and go, "Is that what they look like?" I said, "Do you want a picture?" Yep. So I just got monster manual, just literally showing this lovely big, solid 8-inch tall picture of a bugbear. So that's what you're facing. It's lovely.
Like that.
Really nice. It's very well laid out. Although that has got one fault with it. It doesn't. There's nowhere in it that lists the monsters by challenge rating. So if you're a DM and you want to work out what monsters you need to put in your game, you've got to actually look through manually. They since released online, you can download it and have it all by challenge rating.
So that you've got a lot of supplementary to go with that you've had to pay for.
No, that was that's all free online.
No, I mean like you had to pay for the main stuff anyway.
Yeah,
the stuff that they should have put in as a free supplementary.
They fucked that up. Although it is in the Dungeon Master Guide, surprisingly. So the Dungeon Master Guide's got it listed, just not the Monster Manual, which is a little bit surprising. Also, we saw some online. They have a Dungeon Master sort of club online. You can go in, and on there are hundreds of adventures that people have made, and they all get rated, and you can just download them. So you can search by your party's level. So, like, say you've got a group of like level 6 adventurers you want to get a game for, you can literally say, okay, level 6, this many people. Oh, these are adventures rated for that. I can just download. You have to pay for them. These are what people put in your easy charge for. They're like $1.99.
Yeah, sure.
So I mean, and people can obviously rate them and so forth, so you can see which ones get good rates and stuff. And so there's so many resources now to help you play if you're not good at creating your own adventures, which I'm not brilliant at, but I'm having a go.
Sure. So I'll be honest with you, that's one of the main reasons why I never DM'd that. I just can't be asked with the hassle.
If you prep work wise, if you're going to DM, you have got to put aside some time for prep work. So I would say for the one that comes as a star set, even though it's a star set one, you want to at least have read through the first section before you even start a game, and you want to at least have a plan in your head how you're planning to sort of step it through. You know, it does come in order. You've just got to sort of think about it. You want to at least have a rough idea of where it's going to go, so when you play it, you know where it's going to head and where it's going to go. Because your players will ask things that aren't covered in there.
And they will also likely do things that will probably fuck it.
Yes, so I had a group of players who spotted some goblins hiding away, decided to lay a trap. So they decided to cross this river and put a rope across to trip the goblins over. All's going well until one character crossed. The other character, who was the stealthy character, had been fucked up and fell over in the river and led the goblins to her presence.
Game over.
Yeah. So far, I've nearly killed 2 of the party members.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm quite nice. I try not to go for TPKs, as I don't like everybody.
Just murder everyone that you can.
No,
the artwork, man. I just want to throw out there. That's another thing. Like Dungeons and Dragons, World of Warcraft, really any fantasy books. As much as I love like cyberpunk, sci-fi, and stuff like that as well, you can't be a good fucking dragon.
No.
I'm just saying, like you could have. I don't care how many like alien races and that you throw out there at me.
Right. Get a monster manual. You've got 24 pages of dragons in the monster manual. It's per dragon pawn in the monster manual.
You know, you can't beat a good fucking, or a random picture of an elf, a dwarf, and a human just chilling out at a bar.
No, I would
or a tavern.
Yeah, I would also recommend getting the Dungeon Master screen. It's not essential, but it's really the Dungeon Master screen reincarnated is really useful.
Oh, nice little tummy.
Little silly mouse.
Makes me hungry too. Not for the mouse.
Tooth and tail again, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
You lost the lottery.
I need to get that game.
Yeah, some of the people do look a little bit weird.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
Skip a few pages. Yeah, so it's a bit hit and miss though.
The artwork is. There's some truly awesome bits. There are some which is a little bit. I question the choice. The illustration for the dwarves, I think, looks a bit odd.
What is that?
I don't know. If you ever look at the dwarf, no, not that dwarf. The dwarf, the race dwarf.
Oh, dig through. This is now becoming the Dungeons and Dragons podcast. It isn't, but. Ah, here we go. You've been missing the chat.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry, we've had the we've not been seeing the chat because we've had the camera up, so we can actually see if what the camera is showing is actually what it's meant to be showing. Yeah. That's the artwork I'm referring to.
Oh, that one does look a bit dirty.
That does look a little bit. She looks a bit. I can't try and describe what I'm thinking when I see her, but she does look a bit weird. Sorry?
Baby face mashed onto an adult.
Yeah, and I thought all dwarves had beards.
Yeah, see there's.
Perhaps I'm racist to dwarves.
Hey, that's how Pratchett fucking wrote it.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's a
the only
nice...
dwarves I really like in honesty are the Pratchett dwarves. So I'm just saying.
Greetings from Lowestoft, England. Party on.
Greetings from France.
Hang on a second. I didn't realise there was that much of a gap between us.
Yeah. Fucking hate France.
Yeah. So that's D&D.
Yeah. And other pen and paper
RPGs. Yes, that's P&P RPG. So I think that's everything tonight.
Bloody hell.
We've got no news because nothing really interesting been going on.
No.
I found one news so I thought looked interesting discussing, and I actually went through. I was like, oh, that's rather.
That's a bit meh.
Yeah.
Well, it's mad like Monster Hunter, is it? Yeah. It looks interesting to start with until you get into it.
Well, I thought it was like going to be some silly group drawing controversy about drugs in games, saying about how games got all these games show about drug use. But you get to the end, the guy did the report saying, to be fair, as long as they're in computer games, people do responsibly. We don't really worry too much about it. It's like, oh, so
you're being reasonable? How dare you?
I know. How can we discuss this and shout at you for not being reasonable if you're going to be reasonable?
God damn.
Yeah. So that's all ruined that section. So thanks,
rational people.
Yeah,
you rational, reasonable
bastards.
Yeah.
So I think it's time for us to end.
Yes.
So thank you everybody for watching up in the SuffolkRam.
Cheers.
And we look forward to you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And perhaps Skazz will roll some dice.
Maybe. I'll roll some anyway, but
his golden metal dice.
Oh, darn, I settled with just buying the D&D stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to order myself a set of dice, gold metal dice. I've decided. Those anodized blue ones I showed you.
Oh right, yeah. What, from Etsy?
Yeah, I'm going to get a set of those in a box. My lovely blue dice. The great advantage of those is that if players are normal, I can throw at them and hurt them.
Just imagine you pull out a slingshot.
The plastic ones don't really hurt that much. They sort of bounce. I always want, in my head, what I want to do is someone's annoying me, I want to throw a d20 at them and hit them on the head. They go, ow, and then as it lands, it just rolls a 20. That's what I want to happen.
Get crit.
Yeah. And that's when they die because I've rolled a 20. So they're like, oh no!
The pain that they had before was nothing.
Critical hit! Shit! I've killed them.
Fuck, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
He's the crit killer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that's my nickname in prison, is he? Yeah, he was. Don't, if he ever comes at you with a dice, worry.
Or he's the critter.
Yeah. Don't worry, mate. I only do 1d4 damage today.
No.
So, bye. Say bye.
Oh, bye.
Good.